Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Oluwafayokemi and I hope you have subscribed already. If not, please click the link in bio to subscribe. On this channel, you're going to be learning how to sew simple wares and even some complex ones for yourself. All you need to get is a sewing machine and some of the basic tools that you need to use to sew. So you just might not need to give your clothes to a tailor anymore. Okay, so today let's go straight to the point. We are going to be learning how to draft a basic skirt pattern. So for my drafting, I'm going to need my pattern paper. I'm going to need a ruler. I'm going to need a pen or pencil. I'll be using a marker today for clarity's sake. I'm going to need a scissors and a tape rule. So measurements required for my skirt pattern includes my hip measurement, my waist measurement, my bust span, my skirt length, and my half length. Like that's my skirt half length. Again, you're going to need your hip measurement, your waist measurement, your skirt length, your skirt half length, and your bust span. So let's get started. Okay, for my skirt, the length of this skirt, it's a short skirt. The length of this skirt I'm going to be making is 21 inches. I'm going to take my 21 inches at different points so I can join it together. 21 inches and another 21 inches. Now I have taken my 21 inches on 2 points. Then I'm going to make use of my ruler to connect it together. Here is where my skirt length ends. That is my skirt length. For clarity's sake, you can write skirt length on it just for clarity's sake. The next measurement I'm going to be taking is my hip line. For adults, you make use of 9 inches for your hip line. So I'm going to be taking 9 inches on different points so that I can connect them together. So I'm going to have my 9 inches and I'm going to have another 9 inches. Then I connect my points together so I could achieve a good straight line. 9 inches. You can do yours on 3 different points, then you connect together. So I'm going to connect this together with the use of my ruler. The next measurement I'm going to be taking is my skirt half length. My skirt half length is 18 inches. Your skirt half length is usually before your knee length. That's where I'm going to use to shape my skirt. So for her is 18 inches. I'm going to take it at intervals like 2 or 3 times. (18 inches). I mark it that way and then I connect it together with my ruler. So here I have my half length. You can write it there, half length, just so it's easier for you. Here is my hip length. You can write it there, hip length, so it's easier for you. And the upper part is my waist level. You can write W there so you know it's your waist level. So the next thing I'm going to be taking on this side is 3/4 above and below my hip measurements. 3/4 is like 3/4 of your tape rule. That's like 3/4 of 1 inch. For you to get that, here is my tape rule. 1 inch is from here to here. then half is the middle, then 3/4 is the middle of half. So that's like half plus quarter, that's 3/4. So I'm going to take 3/4 above and below my hip measurement. Above and below my hip measurement. I'm using this middle part of my 2 inches. You can use anyone to take the measurement. The main thing is that you're getting 3/4. So I'm going to take 3/4 above and 3/4 below. I'm also taking it at intervals, and I'll connect my lines together. 3/4 above, 3/4 below. 3/4 above, 3/4 below. So I'm going to connect them together. That is 3/4. 3/4 above my hip measurement, and 3/4 below my hip measurement. 3/4 above, 3/4 below my hip measurement. The next thing I'm going to be taking is my hip circumference. Don't forget, this is the front pattern. We are doing the front pattern first before we do the back. So now for my hip circumference, I'm going to divide my hip by 4. The hip I will be making use of is 39. So 39 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.75. 9.75. That's like 9¾ So I'm going to subtract half from my hip divided by 4, because I'm drawing the front pattern and I need to reduce the front, because we've got flatness in the front, then we've got our bum at the back. So I'm going to reduce the front to take it back to my back pattern when I'm drawing my back pattern. So what we are doing is your hip measurement divided by 4 minus 0.5. Our hip is 39. 39 divided by 4, 9.75 minus 0.5, that is 9.25. So I'm going to take my 9.25 at intervals. I can start on my hip level. 9.25. I can take it at different points just to give me a straight line first, to make it easy for me to connect. 9.25 and 9.25. Then you connect your dots together to create a box. You connect your dots together to create a box. Okay, so this has guided my hip size. This has guided my hip size. Now, after doing that, the next thing you're going to measure is your waist measurement. Your waist measurement. You just do your waist point. Our waist is 28.5. Our waist is 28.5. Our waist is 28.5. Then you divide our waist by 4. That's 28.5 divided by 4. That's going to give me 7.125. 7.125. So on the waist level, you take 7.125. Whatever your own measurement is, that's what you're going to take on the waist level. You divide your waist by 4 without adding anything. That's for the front pattern. Here is the point for my waist divided by 4. 7.125. So that's the point for mine. Now, on my hip level, don't forget this is already guiding my hip side now. This line is guiding my hip side. So on my half length, I'm going to come in by 1 inch, because that is where I'm going to be shaping my skirt from to give me the fitted look for a pencil skirt. So on my half length, I'll come in by 1 inch. On my skirt length, even if it's a long skirt, you do the same thing. I'll come in by 1 inch. 1 inch on my half length, 1 inch on my skirt length. Now the next thing is to start connecting my points together. So I'll connect my waist measurement, to 3/4 inch above my hip line, 3/4 inch above my hip. Don't forget you are stopping on this hip level, on this line that describes your hip divided by 4 minus 5. So I'm connecting my waist to 3/4 inch above my hip, and I'm connecting 3/4 inch below my hip line, 3/4 inch below my hip line. I'm connecting it to this 1 inch in on my half length. This point where your hip measurement matches with 3/4 inch below your hip line, you connect it to your half length. You connect it to your 1 inch in on the half length. This part connected to this part, your waist connected to 3/4. Why you have these 3 lines here is to give you like a curve for your bum, so you don't have like a triangle. That's why you have 3/4 inch above and below your hip line, so you don't have like a triangle when you are cutting your hip region. So now you connect your 1 inch in on your skirt length to your 1 inch in on your half length. That's to give you a straight line here. And if it's a long skirt, you just draw it straight down like that. Here is connecting my skirt length to my half length. Now the next thing to do is to come in by 1/2 inch on your waistline. This side of my paper is my center front, so you can label it center front, CF. So on my center front, on the waistline, I will go down by 1/2 inch, from here down by 1/2 inch. That's because I want to reduce the amount of folds I'll be having on my skirt. So you connect your 1/2 inch to your waist circumference point, this point where you have your waist divided by 4. You connect it to your 1/2 inch. You connect it to your 1/2 inch. So you're going to be having this. You're going to be having this 1/2 inch down, connected here. Your waist measurement connected to 3/4 above your hip. Your half length connected to 3/4 below your hip. Then you connect your half length to your skirt length. So here is your basic front skirt pattern. Here is your basic front skirt pattern. You can cut it out now. Okay, so here is your basic front skirt pattern, and you can cut this out if you are going to be making a skirt, but because I'll be using this pattern for a gown, I'm not going to cut it out. Then you write your name on your pattern, or the name of the person you are making it for. You write it on your pattern and you write the measurements, just so you do not mix your measurement together. That is it. This is my front skirt pattern. Now the next one is our back pattern, our back skirt pattern. So to get my back skirt pattern, we are still going to require the same measurement, which is your hip, your waist, your skirt length, your half length, and your bust span. So the first measurement I'm going to be taking is my skirt length. Don't forget your skirt length. If it's long, you take a long one. If it's short, you take the short one. My skirt length is 21, so I'm going to be taking 21. I'm going to mark this on different points so I can have a straight line when drawing my straight line. So I can connect the points to draw a straight line. So I have 21 and 21. After doing that, I'll draw a line across to connect my points together. That's a line to connect my points together. Then yeah, don't forget this is my skirt length, that is waist to skirt length. Then the next thing I'm going to be doing is to divide my hip by 4. For this back skirt, I'm going to be using hip 42. Hip 40, you use your hip, whatever hip you are going to use. This is for a different person, so I'm using hip 42 for my back skirt, and 42 divided by 4 is going to give me 10.5. Then I'm going to add half an inch to it. So the difference is, for your front skirt you are doing hip divided by 4 minus half an inch, while for your back skirt you are doing hip divided by 4 plus half an inch. That is the difference. So I'm using 42 divided by 4 plus half an inch. That is 11, because 42 divided by 4 is 10.5 plus half an inch, that is 11. So I'm going to mark 11, and I'm going to mark it at intervals so that I would have like a box to make work easier for me. That's 11, 11, and 11. So I'm going to connect my skirt lengths together. Okay, so I have connected my skirt length together. That's giving me a box that I need, and now I can go to the next measurement. Just like we did for the front, the next measurement is my hip line. I'm also going to be taking it at intervals, or on different points. That's what I mean by intervals. So I'm going to be taking my hip line, which is 9 inches for adults. So I'm going to take my hip line 9 inches. And another 9 inches. Now I'll connect my hip line together with my ruler. That is my hip line. And the next measurement I'm going to take is my skirt half length. My skirt half length, which is 18 inches. Some use 19 inches for adults, but I love to use 18 inches. 18. You can mark it 3 times just so you can connect, have a straight line when you're connecting. Don't forget you can use 19 inches, your choice. I just prefer to use 18 inches. So I'm going to connect my points together. That is my skirt half length. Now this upper part is going to be my waistline. So the next thing I'm going to take is to take 3/4 above and below the hip line, just like you did in front. 3/4 above and below the hip line. 3/4 above and below the hip line. That's going to help me to reduce sharp corners on my hip region. 3/4 above and below the hip line. I'm going to connect my 3/4 above together and my 3/4 below. Connect it as a straight line. Here is my 3/4 below. I'll connect it as a straight line to the box, and I'll do the same thing for my 3/4 above. Straight line to the box. So the next measurement you're going to need is your waist divided by 4. For this woman, our waist is 33. 33 divided by 4, that is 8.25. So I'm going to mark 8.25. Here is 8.25, but for the back you need your dart. So some people make use of 1.5 for that. Some make use of 1.25, that is 1.25. So whichever one you want to make use of, you could just add it up now to your waist level. So I've measured our waist divided by 4. Now I'm going to add 1.5 for my dart. Don't forget, some make use of 1.25, so you can make it of any one of your choice. So here is my waist divided by 4 plus my dart, which is 1.5. Then on my skirt half length, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. On my skirt length too, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. Skirt length, half length. I'm just trying to label it so you don't get confused. Half length, hip length, 3/4 above your hip, 3/4 below your hip, and this is your waist level. Waist level, 3/4 above your hip line, 3/4 below your hip line. This is your half length, skirt half length. Skirt half length, and this is your skirt length. So don't forget, we did our waist divided by 4 plus our dart, which is 1.5 for that. Then you come in here by 1 inch, and you come in here by 1 inch. Now we need to connect our dots together. So connect your 1 inch on this hip length to your 1 inch on the half length with a straight line like that. Then you connect this point on your half length to 3/4 below your hip level. 3/4 below your hip line, you connect it to your half length like that. Then you connect your waist, this point of your waist, after adding your dart, you connect it to 3/4 above your hip line. 3/4 above your hip line. So you've got that, just like this. Connect your waist divided by 4 plus your dart to 3/4 above your hip line. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to shape the back of our skirt. Some can leave their skirt like this. This is the center back of your skirt. All this side is the center back where your zip can be. Center back of your skirt. All this part is your center back. So if you want it to be free, you can leave it like this. But if you don't want it to be free, if you want it to be very fitted like pencil, then we need to shape the back of our skirt. So in order to shape the back of your skirt, from your hip level, from your hip line, you take 5 inches down. From your hip line, you measure 5 inches down, and you measure 1.5 inches down. This is my hip line. You take 1.5 inches, you take 5 inches at the same time. 1.5 inches, then 5 inches at the same time on your hip line. Then on your 5 inches, you go in by 1 inch. On your 5 inches, you go in by 1 inch. On your skirt length, you go in by 1 inch. At this point, you go in by 1 inch. On these 5 inches, you go in by 1 inch. So you are connecting your 1 inch on your skirt length to your 1 inch on this 5 inches level. Connect it together like that. Then you connect your 1 inch on this 5 inches to this point, 1.5 inch below your hip level. You connect it together. Connect it together like that. 1.5 inch below your hip line, 5 inch below your hip line. You go in by 1 inch on these 5 inches and take it straight down to your skirt length while you connect it like a triangle to your 1.5 inch. Another thing I usually love to do is because in case I'm going to use this skirt to draw my pieces, you connect this 5-inch point to your half length. You connect this 5-inch point, this point of your 5-inch, you connect it to your half length with your ruler. You need this if you are going to be using this pattern for pieces skirts. So the last thing you're going to be doing is drawing your dart line. And for my dart line, just in case I'm using it for a dress, I love to use my bust span. So the bust span for this woman is 9 inches. So your bust span divided by 2, that's going to give me 4.5 because our bust span is 9 inches. So I'm going to mark 4.5, and I'm going to mark it at intervals. I like to rule it down, but just for skirts, you don't need to rule it down. You could just rule it to where you want your dart to stop. I'm going to mark 4.5. Then I'm going to come down by 5.5 for my dart. I'm going to come down by 5.5 for my dart. So I'll connect this, my 4.5, straight line like that to 5.5. So I've connected that to my 5.5, and then I'm going to divide the 1.5 I added here for my dart. I'm going to divide it by 2. That's going to give me 3/4. So I will mark 3/4 on this side and 3/4 on the other side of my dart line. 3/4, 3/4. That's 3/4, 3/4. Then I'll connect my 3/4 to 5.5 here and 3/4 to 5.5 here to create my dart line. Like that, like a triangle. Okay, so that is it for your back pattern. That's it for your back pattern. And don't forget to label your skirts with the name and the measurement of the owner of the skirt. I hope you understand the basic skirt pattern for your front and your back. This out too. So this is what it's going to give me. Here is my back skirt pattern. Yeah, see you in the next class. Bye. Don't forget, in case you have any question, just drop it in your comment box. If you are yet to subscribe at this stage, kindly click on the subscribe button and subscribe to this channel for more videos. Encourage us with your likes and your comments. Thank you. See you later. Bye.